Hello, my name is Larry Jenks, and I'd like to welcome you to this video demonstration on using eQuery code review software. eQuery helps you with your review of the International Building Code, and in this demo, we'll be looking at Chapter 5, Building Height and Area. The demo is in two parts. In this part, Part 1, we'll look at how eQuery helps you determine the construction type for your project, and along with that, the allowable height and floor area. Later, in Part 2, we'll look at how eQuery can help you with calculating the height and area increases that may be allowed for your project, and the allowable opening areas. For the purposes of our demo, our project will be a school building. It has 12,000 square feet and 2 stories. To begin, eQuery walks you through the process of determining whether an increase for frontage or a sprinkler system is allowed, and what type of sprinkler system you may want to use. There is also an illustrative site plan that shows you how to determine the frontage distances for a sample building. If you have a question about how to determine the frontage widths, especially if the width of the frontage area varies, it may be helpful to look at this example. Now notice the 3 large green rectangles on the right side of the spreadsheet. This is where eQuery helps you determine the construction type based on the occupancy of your project. For example, if you have a mixed occupancy building where the occupancies are not separated, the code requires you to determine your building height and floor area based on the most restrictive requirements in the building. eQuery walks you through this process. There are also additional requirements if your building has separated occupancies, and eQuery walks you through that as well. In our example, we have multiple non-separated occupancies, so we need to choose the most restrictive. We'll click on the button number 4 for that category. Then, we'll get information from Table 503 by first choosing one of the occupancy groups in our school project. Let's start with the A1 occupancy. Click on button number 5, and eQuery puts the occupancy group in the first cell of our table. Then follow the orange line to the black box labeled 5A, or Occupancy Groups Matrix. Find A1 there and click on it. This takes you to a page of small boxes. There is one for each occupancy group. Find the one labeled A1. It'll be the active cell on this page. Now find the least restrictive construction type that allows the size of building we need to design. Since we already know that our project qualifies for an area increase due to frontage, we can safely choose construction type 3B, knowing that we should be able to increase the allowable floor area of 11,500 square feet to the required 12,000. Double-click on the cell with the 3B in it. eQuery transfers this information to our table. This is the same information you find in Table 503. Click on button 5B, and the information is transferred to our summary record. Then clear the table and repeat this process for each occupancy group in the building. For this example, we have already done this. Now we need to examine the requirements for each of the occupancy groups in our building and choose the most restrictive. That information goes in this row of cells here. Well, that concludes the demo of Chapter 5, Part 1, Building Height and Area. I hope you have found this information to be informative. Please check the website for additional eQuery demos. Thank you very much for watching.